All right, we're here with Steven and Kelsey, the founders of Historic Labs. We got to meet you at the LA Fit Expo. It was absolutely phenomenal. Your booth was busy, our booth was busy. It was so much fun. Your supplements were awesome. You sent us with a whole free pack of supplements to go home with. They were awesome. I'm going to do a full report interview on them so you guys can see that. It was great. We gave you an ab roller, but we didn't really get to know your whole story of your company, how it got founded, why it got founded, and the backdrop. So could we explain that?
Yeah. So first off, thank you for the ab roller.
Mm-hmm.
It's been very helpful for us, especially with Kelsey.
Been a staple in my routine for my next competition.
Very good.
Yeah, and then we'll probably be doing a high rocks competition at the end of the year, co-ed, so that's going to be very helpful too. But overall, during the Fit Expo, you're right, we didn't get a chance to talk, but we did exchange that energy of a good family setup of a company. I think both of us have this like family setting, and I think that really demonstrates that we vibe, that we can work well together. So this collab is going to be very, very great, and I think a lot of people are going to love it. A little bit about us in Historic Labs. So we started about 2021, end of 2021 into 2022 is when we first started creating the company. We were college athletes. I was in the military for 6 years, and we just love fitness.
Thank you for serving.
Appreciate it. And Kelsey also did a couple of bodybuilding shows before that as well. So our thought process was we want to stay in the fitness industry, and how do we do that? By making supplements, because we think that supplements touch every realm of fitness, and it's very important knowing what goes in your body and how you can use it to get better. So that's how we came up with the actual supplement company, and we're here now with 4 formulas, some of these staples like creatine and some of the other products that are coming this year.
Do you mind if I ask how you came up with your name?
So we actually had a different name before.
Yeah.
First we started off with Mount Olympus Supplements, but then it was taken.
Okay.
And then we couldn't get the rights to it. So then we started to think, what would be another name for this, and where are we headed in the direction of the business? And we wanted to incorporate more cultures into our labels, which is our art and how we demonstrate ourselves. And there's a little bit of nuance there with our slogan that combines, with the historical cultures. But we use the name Historic mainly because it's about history and who you are, where you come from, and where you're going. And then Labs just came up because, we make our products in a laboratory when we obviously use a manufacturer, and we partner with other companies that make patent ingredients.
Yeah, so like a staple for us in our supplements is just being able to have those patent ingredients. We know we're getting the best quality possible, so being able to label like our Thermogenic has 8 patent ingredients in there, and being able to have that and say like we have a very pure formula here, and it's important to us what goes in our body. That was like one of the main things. And to answer a question, we specifically went with pre-workout, right? Supplements, that could be so many different things, but we specifically went with pre-workout because being in the military, being a college athlete, you're always on the go-go, you're always looking for energy. I mean, every college student I just know is drinking coffee like nobody's business, right? Everybody in the military is pounding energy drinks or espresso shots, or
3-4 times a day.
Yeah, it just an ungodly amount, plus the pre-workout, whatever they're taking, whatever they can take. So that was why we decided to go with pre-workout, but also make it eligible for anybody in the military, any first responders, any NCAA athletes. They can take it because there's no banned ingredients in there. So
I noticed that in it when I was looking at the ingredients label. That's one of the first things I ever look at before I take a supplement is, cool, label looks great and flashy, but what is that hiding behind the backside?
Exactly.
Most of the time, flashy label lets you know they're trying to hide something on that backside. I looked at your guys' ingredients, they were absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's something huge in the industry right now is people are trying to get back to the basics, having more of a natural caffeine, energy, explosiveness, overall mood enhancing and wellness, and I didn't feel any crash or come down from your guys, which was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and that's because of one ingredient that we put in there, Synactive, right? Is meant to help that endurance stretch so that you're not getting the actual crash. And it's getting rid of all of the dead senescent cells in your body. So it's helping kind of elongate that without, having the immediate crash. Plus our high stim one, we have 350 milligrams of caffeine in there, plus beta-alanine. So most people are going to look at that and be like, oh shit, I'm going to get all the way up there. But the great thing is the extended release from Zoom XR that we have in there is it allows you to come off nicely from it without experiencing like, you know, dizziness or faintness.
I felt like there wasn't a super big high, there wasn't a good
Yeah.
low, there was a great workout though.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal for sure.
Yeah, and I think overall, all the formulas that we created, they have 4 staple ingredients in each one of them, right? So you have Genius Pure, Estrogen, Lion's Mane, and Hydro Prime. So Hydro Prime hydrates the cells. Estrogen is for bioavailability to help with also your gut biome. Then you have Lion's Mane, which helps with concentration, cognitive function, and also some inflammatory benefits as well, which is very beneficial when you're working out.
Oh, 100%.
And then our one of the ingredients that we also used was Genius Pure, so alpha GPC at 90% pure, which is really great because it has shown to demonstrate its benefits off 1 dose.
Yeah.
So you
And
feel the
most-
cognitive function and the focus and the performance off of 1 dose. So the first time you take it, you are already pushing your body.
Yeah.
Right. And most other supplements, correct me if I'm wrong, but are at a 60% yielding. So we have a 90%, which makes it a little bit more
It's
on edge.
50%, but yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of gets above that mark. But to speak on just wellness in general, our goal was to make sure that we as a company can actually educate people on supplements. I think it's so convoluted nowadays and there's so much information on the internet. It's almost like, who do you follow? So that's one of our goals, is really to just educate exactly what's in our supplement. And I think people are really starting to pay more attention to their ingredient labels and want to learn the simple things, right? Really simple one, red 40, color
Yeah.
dye.
100% agree.
Anytime somebody looks at that now, it's like, okay, stay away from
Yes.
red 40.
Yeah.
So as simple as that, I think we're moving in that direction with wellness. And that, the reason why I think this collab is great too is because that ties in perfectly with where you guys are coming from with Pure Steel, ab rollers, the other equipment that you make.
Well, I mean, we can even go back even further. I mean, Karen had stage 4 breast cancer, and could that have been chemicals she was consuming in food, supplements?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Right.
But at the end of the day, cancers, diseases, illnesses are all fueled by all of this crap ingredients that we're putting into these products, and I love that you guys are trying to actually create a healthy product, healthy for the future.
Right. I would love to hear a little bit more about your story and like how that started and how Pure Steel became a staple for you and into your life after breast cancer.
I think Pure Steel started first as a thought in my mind during chemo. Just looking around the room, how many people have cancer? So many young people now these days with cancer, and just the gloom and, you know, the feeling of hopelessness. I thought, you know, I'm gonna survive this, and I'm gonna do something to hopefully make a change.
And you did.
So that's kind of where it started. Is I wanted to, like you said, educate people on how important health and fitness is. And so I met with David and lost 80 pounds since my cancer was hormone driven.
Congrats.
Yeah, I had to get on that focus of losing weight. He helped me, and then we got to talking, and my husband started coming to the gym after seeing my transformation, and they were talking about how the quality of the products were pretty
Pretty horrible these days,
horrible,
unfortunately.
yeah.
I mean, gym equipment is just mass produced, and it's quantity over quality anymore. And literally, Marco one day was like, you know, I can
I can make that
manufacture
better.
any of this in here but better. I'm like, there's no freaking way you can.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he shows up with an adjustable bench, and I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah.
That's rock solid.
Yes.
Pure Steel. Come on. It was right there.
Yeah, it is true. Because when I visited your facility a couple weeks ago and got to see everybody in action and how the process works, not only to make the ab roller, but to make other equipment as well, and it was fun to see it.
Yeah, and
especially the giant machine that's the laser
laser?
cutter. Yeah.
And you know, all of our guys are so proud of our product, and they love being involved in it. On break time, they're often like, you know, doing challenges on, you know, the ab roller or, you know, the sissy squat or whatever we've got at the time that we're manufacturing and testing the hip thrust. So just to see them excited about our product, it makes me even more proud.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How did you guys come up with the name Pure Steel and then your logo with the heart? It's got to mean something deep.
Yes. So Pure Steel was oh, how many names did we go through
So
before
many.
we finally? And one of our partners.
What was the first one?
Oh gosh, I don't even
I don't even
remember.
know, honestly.
Whatever it was that David was like, nope, that's taken. I was like, okay.
Same as us.
Yeah. But we went through so many names, and we have our partner Wes was like, nope, 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 nope. And it was actually at one of the Christmas party, I think.
Yeah, one of the clients.
One of our friends at the gym was like, well, what about Pure Steel? And I was like, well, Wes hasn't liked anything yet.
Yeah.
Let me text it to him. And he was like,
Good to go.
Just a
and I was
thumbs up.
like, there it is, Pure Steel, and it really fits with our product,
Yeah.
Pure Steel.
That's
So-
awesome.
And then the heart and the weight is just how important fitness is to health in general, heart health, longevity.
Yeah, I gotta say, when I'm using your ab roller, because we always used to use them in college, like just the one wheel, right? And the whole first battle with that is just balance. So when you don't have the balance or that guidance with the 4 wheels, it's kind of, it's a little bit harder to actually engage the correct muscle. And you're using more of your shoulders. And, I got really good, but then I realized I have a really strong back too. So that's really what I'm using.
Yeah.
Not even my core.
Yeah.
So when I started using your Pure Steel ab roller, having those 4 wheels and the stability actually allowed me to engage my core. And with bodybuilding, that's one thing that I've really had to learn to do is manipulate very specific muscles and make sure I'm slowing down and engaging the right things. Because when you're competitive in a sport, all you're thinking is get to the ball as fast as you can, sprint as hard as you can, right? Be really agile. So you're not thinking about using just my quads to go.
Not my muscle.
Right.
Like, my abs, all I want to focus.
Yes, exactly. So you're kind of just using everything
Yeah.
to explode, but being able to break it down and then not even really having to think about it because it's just automatically there doing it for you. And you know that you're a little bit off if you're like tilted, right? So it's a really great design and it's comfortable.
Yeah.
It's super
Yeah,
comfortable.
it is.
And even I feel comfortable using it. David knows I have a fear of like fracturing or breaking my hip
yeah.
because my doctor was like, you gotta be careful. Don't break your hip or not too much pressure, but being able to get down there and actually not feel like the weight's in my hip, it's in the arms, and being able to use the product as well is very empowering to me.
And then what we've learned is what's so cool is for the overweight population, there's not really things they can do for core.
Right.
There really isn't. There's nothing that fits their size, holds their weight, or allows them even to have the ability to even do an ab roller. And what we've learned is with the 4-wheel ab roller, we're able to now allow people who would never have the opportunity to get on their knees and actually do an ab roll can actually do one. Something incredible actually happened at the Ohio Expo that we went to. A lady in a wheelchair came and she's like, hey, I want to try your ab roller. I helped her out of the ab roller, got her onto the ground. It was the first time in her life she's ever been able to do an ab roller.
Wow.
Because of the stability and how sturdy she felt. And it was one of the coolest things I got to see from
amazing.
That's awesome. That's such a great feedback too. Just not nonverbal feedback from your product is like being able to see other people are able to do that, even if they do have some sort of disability. I mean, I have some friends that are doing adaptive CrossFit. So this would be like one of those examples. I send that to him, and he's now competing in adaptive CrossFit games, and they just started that, I think 2 years ago. First competitions are coming out now. So that being able to see that is just fantastic.
Yeah, so cool. You guys, it was an awesome time getting to know you better. I'm hoping we see you at the Anaheim Fit Expo. Is that a deal?
That's
Right now we're
planned, yeah.
planning, yeah.
We cannot wait to see you there. We're going to go hard this time. We're going 4 booths.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
So-
we'll be right next to you. We'll be fine.
I love it. I love it. We cannot wait to see you there. It was so good getting to know you guys. I'm going to have samples of your pre-workouts and all your supplements in this gym so that I can give out free samples to people, let them try it out, let them get their experience and feel for it, and we can't wait to see your guys' future.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thanks for
you,
having
guys.
us. This is a
Success.
wonderful experience and a nice gym here.
Thank you so much.
It's a lifestyle. Change your history.
Purely historic.
There you go.